All right, we are up.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Bunker Office Hours, a weekly live show brought to you by the team at Bunker Labs, a national network of veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs dedicated to helping the military connected community start and grow their own business. We know that 25% of transition and service members want to start a business, and they need places inside their communities where they can connect with the people, resources, and support they need. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Ms. Amy Morton, as well as Liz Marion. And we've got a very special guest today, Mr. Terry Hill from JPMorgan Chase. But first, we got to talk about what's happening this week. Amy, let everybody know what's going on in the bunker.
Thanks, Mike. This week, we have one final July event. We've got an in-person Bunker Connect tomorrow in Wilmington, North Carolina at 5:30 p.m. And then our next event is not until August 12th. Bunker Connect in Madison, Wisconsin at 5 p.m. So again, as always, check out chapters.bunkerlabs.org for more event details.
And we know, again, people are excited to get back out in person. We're seeing the energy all on social media. So make sure you're following that. Take advantage of these programs, get outside of your apartment, get outside your house, and get back to some peer-to-peer networking. And now I have the privilege of passing over to my colleague, Liz Marion, who's going to introduce our guest for today. Liz, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. That made my heart hurt a little bit. Wilmington, North Carolina, my old stomping grounds, where I actually launched the Bunker Labs chapter a few years ago. So good to hear that they're getting back out there. But Mike, thanks. Today we are going to be talking about this new CEOcircle program that I'm so excited about, powered by JPMorgan Chase. And I know we have super limited time today, so I just want to put out there a little housekeeping that after this, we're going to be putting a blog out of all the questions that Terry and I are going to be able to address, but also the ones that we're not going to be able to address. So whatever social channel you're watching us on, I hope you will drop your questions. We'll collect those, put them in a blog post. We're also going to be sharing the recording of this Ask Me Anything towards the end of the week. So we hope that you will check it out. Also, we're going to be super focused on CEOcircle. I'm a little biased. I'm the program director of CEOcircle here at Bunker Labs. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. You can see Terry Hill here, managing director from JPMorgan Chase Commercial Banking. Terry is a West Point grad and an Army veteran. So of course we had to have him on from the JPMorgan team. But he is also leading the emerging middle market business, which provides commercial banking services to mid-sized family-owned operations in 117 markets in over 48 states, which is amazing. So Terry, thanks for taking some time out and joining us today.
Liz, really glad to be here. So excited to talk about CEOcircle and the partnership that we have with Bunker Labs.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that first. So just to give people some context and history, actually, a little history of our relationship. JPMorgan Chase was one of our founding partners back in 2014. Terry, can you talk a little bit about our history together?
Yeah, so at JPMorgan Chase, we focus on employment, entrepreneurship, and education and mentorship. And each of those, we've invested really significant funding around veterans. And so from an employment perspective, with the jobs mission that we've led with other Fortune 500 companies, nearly 700,000 jobs for veterans have been procured over the last 10 to 15 years. Entrepreneurship, we've helped about 30,000 entrepreneurs connect and grow. And then from an education and mentorship perspective, that's where Bunker Labs comes in. So from the very beginning, we provided seed capital to help you all get going. We provided additional funding to go nationwide. And now we look at this as the next step, that when companies, you need an idea, you need to start, and now we need to scale. That's what we're here today to do and talk about with CEOcircle. So in all, about $5 million of funding, $8 to $10 million of funding, similar funding with Bunker Labs and others. We just think it's incredibly important to help our veterans from a employment, entrepreneurship, and education and mentorship perspective. And this part of it is, especially in the area that I work in, that we focus on privately held businesses around the country. If you have the knowledge and you have the connectivity, you can do phenomenal things. We want to help veterans do that.
Yes, it's amazing. In our partnership, like I said, you're one of the founding partners, but not only has JPMorgan Chase been one of our funding partners, as you mentioned, but you all have been a strategic partner in helping our organization serve thousands of entrepreneurs, military connected entrepreneurs around the nation. So I will just say thank you again, and that you've been instrumental really in the growth nationwide that Bunker Labs has been able to do. And this new program, I think we said this on one of our first meetings together, is this is just an extension of that. It's allowing us to serve a totally new group of military connected entrepreneurs that are at that scaling stage. And we couldn't be more excited about it. And I just want to give a little bit of an overview of CEOcircle before we dive into some of our questions from applicants and also from some emails that we've gotten already since applications have been open. So the CEOcircle program, it is a year-long program for military connected businesses. It's got targeted educational programming, networking, monthly huddles, which is what we call them. We'll get into that in a second. 4 in-person fly-in events around the country, which are going to be incredible. And then through our partner, JPMorgan Chase, we are going to have a 10-week mentorship program to provide financial expertise and support for these entrepreneurs. There are some criteria to be eligible. We're going to talk about this in some of our FAQs, but just as an overview, there are some revenue, 5 million and above annual revenue or capital raised, also high growth potential criteria. You can find this on our website, bunkerlabs.org/CEOcircle in more detail. And then you have to be operating in 2 industry verticals. So diversified industries and also technology, disruptive commerce. And then Bunker Labs, we serve the military connected community. So that participant needs to be a military veteran or military spouse, like myself. If you have questions, please let us know, but a veteran or military spouse on that senior executive team. And we're going to get into some more of these details in just a second. And I want to move on to these FAQs. We've got a lot of questions from applicants that have applied or questioning whether or not they should apply, Terry. So we should address those. One of the questions that I've gotten quite a few times is, am I required to attend the in-person fly-ins, those 4 events, Terry?
Absolutely. So if you are accepted and you confirm, we want you to be there in person. That's a big part of what it is. And so we'll have the 4 fly-ins and then the 9 monthly forum huddles, and want you to join all of those. I think a big part of it, very much like the military, is the teamwork aspect of it. One thing Bunker does is everybody helps one another. And we'll talk about, and maybe others know better than I what the Bunker process is, but I think one thing I admire about it is everybody lays out what's most important to them, what their goals are, and then everybody as a team helps one another achieve that. So you need to be there to be part of the team.
Absolutely. Show up. That's the main thing. And plus you won't want to miss it. And one of the things is people have asked, what am I financially responsible for during this program? And again, in more detail on the website, but just shortly, travel and lodging will be the participants' responsibility. However, once you get there, all the food, the refreshments, the state-of-the-art venue, all of that will be included. And we will have discounted hotel rooms in the form of a room block. And if you are accepted into the program, all that information will be provided to you. So Terry, I had a question from one entrepreneur that asked me, 2020 was a hard year. So I was at the revenue criteria pre-COVID, but now I'm not. Should I still apply?
If there's any doubt, apply. So, and the answer is yes, because COVID and the last 18 months have brought so many different things. And we understand that. What we're looking for are companies that need what we're putting together here. So we want companies that are at the stage where they're ready to scale. They're ready to, they need a different level of mentorship. They need a different level of connectivity. And So the revenue is a proxy for that. So just tell us your story. Absolutely apply. Apply.
I love that. And I echo that. When in doubt, apply. And one of the things is, so we have 2 industry verticals for this program opportunity. And so if you could outline those quickly for us, again, just to remind everybody, technology, disruptive commerce, and diversified industries.
Yeah, no, really good question. And, you might recall we had a lot of discussions around what these mean. And to me, it's rather simple. Technology and disruptive commerce are companies that are either one, technology, or 2, disruptive commerce means they're using technology to disrupt a traditional industry. So they're really technology based. And the reason we break those out is technology is so foundational what they're doing. In fact, technology is often what they're doing, but then they're disrupting the industry that they're going into. And you can think about some of the consumer brands that you and I might use that are entirely distributed via the internet. Well, that's a disruptive commerce company. Diversified industries are a little more traditional. These are supply companies, these are service companies, or these are manufacturers, a food manufacturer. These are also government contractors. So TDC is what we call it. That is that companies that are using technology. They're either technology companies or technology companies that are disrupting traditional industries, and then our traditional industries that we're going to go into as vets and do great things and build great businesses.
Well, we have a lot of government contracting from the military connected community when they start businesses, and really they're a perfect fit for it. So, and one of the things is, how do you know if you fit into one of the industry verticals? I'm going to reiterate what we said before. When in doubt, apply. As Terry just laid out, these industry verticals are intentionally broad. We are not trying to narrow this down that much, so please apply if you have any questions about that.
Yeah, and we can also guide you to the right one, or the Bunker team will guide you to the right one if you have some confusion around that.
Absolutely. And, just click that contact us button on the website. If you're on there, it'll be directed to me and my team at CEOcircle. So we're happy to answer any questions that you might have about this program. Again, applications are open now through August 4th. So be sure to get those in by next week. And, Terry, the follow-up steps after someone might apply, they might be asking, so we do have a timeline. The applications close August 4th, right? You're going to be notified. There's not a long wait time. You're going to be notified in early September whether or not you have gotten into the program. And then there's going to be an onboarding process, an information gathering process. This is the Bunker Lab secret sauce, right? Is that it's going to be super high touch. We're going to help you get into the program to the launch, which will be one of our in-person fly-ins in November. So there's definitely a process that we'll go through. And, if you're not accepted into the program, this is what I will say. If you're not accepted into the program, please apply anyway, if you have any doubts. And then we're going to stay in contact with you because, Terry, we're going to have more CEOcircle opportunities. Like in the future, we're going to have so many. We want to make sure that you are in our community, connecting with Bunker Labs and JPMorgan Chase, right? So that you can be kind of in the know of all the new opportunities that are coming up. We're going to stay in contact with you throughout the year. We'll let you know how the cohort's going and about, new cohorts that are going to start next year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In fact, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of resources, connectivity that we bring to veteran-owned businesses outside of this program. And so raise your hand, connect to Bunker Labs, and through that, we'll connect as well.
Absolutely. And like we've said about our partnership with JPMorgan Chase, their commitment to veterans, their commitment to veteran-owned businesses, is something that we have such great synergy on. And we're going to be having opportunities. The CEOcircle program, it says opportunities open now on that website for a reason, because there will be new opportunities. And one of the things.
Hey, Liz, can I actually follow up on that?
Yes.
And I get a question a lot. I mean, veteran-owned businesses are important to me as a veteran, but they're also important to our firm. And the reason they're important to our firm is because one, veterans have and their families have made sacrifices, and we want to support that. But the other part is it's good business. You know, we are all in business together, and there about 10% of businesses throughout the U.S. are owned by veterans, employing about 6 million employees. That's incredible, and we want to support that. We want to help grow that. Small businesses account for the vast majority of employment in the U.S. And if we can help veterans move from the military, eventually scale and employ more people, and have the service mindset that our veterans have, we want to be there with them.
Yeah, I love that. And veterans hire more veterans, right? Military spouse businesses hire more military spouses. So all about that, the hiring initiative and this commitment to entrepreneurship really just goes together in what we're trying to do. And, you know, Terry, when you're a business owner and you're at this level, right, you've got 5 million, 10 million annual revenue, you might be asking yourself, like many of our applicants have emailed me about, what exactly is the time commitment about this? So I do want to lay this out before we get into some of our other audience questions. Participants are required, we mentioned this, the 9 monthly meetings. So we call these huddles. There's a proven structure to these meetings that we're going to help you reach your goals and objectives. They are 90 minutes. And they will happen on all of the months that we don't have one of those fly-in forum events. And then the other thing is the last 10 weeks of this program, something that we're introducing to the CEOcircle program is a 10-week advisor kind of addition in order for that last quarter of this cohort for you to really reach those goals and objectives. So you're going to be matched one-on-one with a JPMorgan Chase advisor mentor that's going to help you reach those goals. And Terry, I think that's like a hugely unique part of this program. And they'll just be required to, you'll basically have 5 one-hour meetings in addition to your monthly huddles for that.
Yeah. And I look at this, a lot of people come to JPMorgan Chase for funding to invest in their business, to buy pieces of equipment or to build a building or acquire another business. This is investing in yourself as a leader. And, you know, I think the business leaders that are watching, that as they're getting to this stage, you have fewer and fewer people that understand what you're going through and the challenges and the needs and the connectivity that's required. And so this is a chance to bring like-minded people together that are facing the same thing, and you can leverage that. So look at this as an investment in yourself and the growth of your business, much like buying a piece of machinery or building a new building or taking out a new business line.
Absolutely. That's a great point. This is investing in yourself. And Terry, I guess maybe we should cover what to expect out of the program also. And then I am going to turn it over to Mike so that he can ask some of our audience questions. But, you know, like Terry mentioned, I think this partnership with JPMorgan Chase, one of the things is that the cohort experience, this year-long experience, is going to be driven by the participants, by these businesses that we're talking about. We're going to take cues from your goals, from your objectives, and so that we can really form these, you know, form the content of this.
Yeah. And what I think is our role in this, one, you know, we've provided funding, but also we're providing resources to support that. And so whether this is part of the 4 fly-ins, Fortune 500 CEO level speakers that will be joining, people like Jamie Dimon, who we at JPMorgan Chase have know and love, or others, that's the kind of knowledge that you'll be tapping into, in addition to the expertise that Bunker brings, in addition to the expertise that the huddle brings. And so that's our goal is to bring some high-level connectivity that you might not otherwise have, and then also bring the mentors that Liz talked about later in the program to really get granular. And so this is from high level down to granular details of how you're going to achieve the things that everybody at the beginning will say that they want to achieve for their businesses.
Absolutely. And when we launch this program in November, you'll set that year-long goal and objective, which I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to hear it. And I can't wait to hear what the goals and objectives are, and then for us to create the experience from those goals and objectives throughout. And like Terry said, we're going to have some amazing speakers, that are going to be part of that brain trust of this cohort. And I think that's just a huge benefit. Before we run out of time, I'm going to turn it back over to Mike Stedman. If you're there, I know you've got some questions from our audience.
Yeah, just two quick questions, Terry. The first one is, what are the various aspects of the program?
So the program is really about working with the huddle leader to break down. So remember, we said 4 fly-ins and then the monthly huddles and then the mentors from JPMorgan Chase. So breaking down with the huddle leader, what is the main goal? And then focusing on that. And every huddle, whether you're in person or virtual, you'll bring that, what did you commit to during the last huddle? Where are you and what do you need to achieve that? And how can the group help? And by the way, what other resources can Bunker or JPMorgan Chase bring to the huddle or bring to you individually to help you achieve those goals? And so as you're moving through those, whether the 90-minute huddles, the 4 fly-ins, or the granular 10-week opportunity with the JPMorgan Chase advisor, you're moving through just piece by piece as you build your business. You're moving through that plan and achieving the goals and objectives that you've laid out.
Perfect. And then the second question we got from our audience is, when will we know the schedule of all the meetings and the in-person fly-ins?
That's a great question. I know everybody wants to mark their calendars if they're accepted into the program. So the 4 fly-in dates are set. So the launch will be November 2nd, 2021, this November, and February 2nd, 2022, June 8th, 2022, and then November 3rd, 2022. And then the virtual meetings will actually happen at the same time every single month for your particular group. So if you're accepted into the program, you'll be given your time slot, so to speak, in your industry vertical group. And, of course, we can be flexible, but the main thing is to attend the requirement is to attend every single one of those fly-ins. Like Terry said, you're not going to want to miss it anyway. And then attend every single one of those nine huddles that we just talked about, because the real benefit, it will be the connection there.
Perfect. Well, it's been a pleasure having you both talk about this today. Any closing remarks before we transition to the giving our book recommendations?
Yeah, maybe I can just, we want to help our veteran-owned businesses grow and scale. It's important to our economy. It's important to our country, and it's important to everybody on the line right now. And so from an employment, entrepreneurship, education, and mentorship perspective, we want to invest in you. And we really look forward to hearing from you through the application as well as in person as you join the huddle and we move through the year together.
Thanks, Terry. And I'll just say thank you again. Mike and Amy, thank you for letting us crash office hours as always, with some awesome information and opportunities for our community. And JPMorgan Chase, thank you for your partnership. We cannot wait to launch this brand new year-long CEOcircle. And, little fact, I'll call out Mike here too, because Mike is a facilitator of one of our CEOcircle groups that's happening now around podcasts, because that is his expertise, as you can tell by his setup and everything else, as you see him every week. And so this is really just an extension of this program that we've had. We're now going to be able to serve new entrepreneurs, and we couldn't do that without JPMorgan Chase. So thank you for being here, Terry. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks again, Terry. As we get ready to close out this office hour session, we only got a little bit of time left. So one of the first things we got to do is we got to talk about our book recommendation for the week. And the book I'm endorsing is Content Inc. Start a Content First Business, Build a Massive Audience, and Become Radically Successful with Little to No Money by Joe Paliza. As a content creator, this is becoming my new content kind of Bible. And one of the things that's important about this book is, a lot of times we want to start a business or you want to write this new business model and people don't have any kind of audience, versus establishing yourself as an expert and an authority in whatever field that you plan on going into, building that trust and that credibility, And then when you roll out your product or your service, you have a loyal audience, because at the end of the day, people do business with people they like, know, and trust. And one of the ways to do that is to build an audience by delivering value in the form of content. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a podcast, whether you're shooting video or you're doing, webinars, just deliver good content, build a loyal following, and then you can start introducing your product or service. And that's a way to de-risk your venture. So check it out. You can buy it on Amazon. You get it on Audible, but I highly recommend this book. And in conclusion for today's office hour session, I'd like to acknowledge our virtual event sponsors, the MetLife Foundation and the Guynet Foundation. The MetLife Foundation is committed to supporting veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs. In addition, the foundation also provides mentorship and financial health resources to veterans and military spouses transitioning into the workforce. A Community Thrives is a program funded by the Guynet Foundation as part of the USA Today network. It invests in community building initiatives across the country with the goal of creating positive change through service to historically marginalized and under-resourced groups. As of today, it's July 27th, right? One of the things I jumped on here to talk about last week was I want to encourage everyone to apply to the Bob Evans Heroes to CEOs competition. That's free money for veteran entrepreneurs ranging between $50,000 and $10,000. They're giving $50,000 to the grand prize winner and $10,000 to 5 runners up. Non-dilutive capital for your business. So get out there and apply and spread the word. And if you haven't done so, make sure you're listening to the Transition Podcast. I dropped a monster episode on how to build a brand where I walk you through the step-by-step phases of building a brand that allows you to stand out from the crowd. It's not just using our core values and our bold beliefs internally. We're going to leverage those externally. That way we can use dog whistle branding to focus in on our perfect customer. Your brand is a whistle, and when you start blowing on it, it's going to somebody. You want to make sure it's going to the right person. So that's why I really want y'all to listen to that podcast episode. Let me know what you think about how to build a brand. You can get it on iTunes, Spotify, whatever your favorite listening service is. Just make sure you subscribe, rate, and review the show. And make sure y'all are checking out bunkerlabs.org. Sign up for the newsletter. Stay plugged in. And if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to us. Until next week, everyone, peace, love. Have a great rest of your week.